The city did not welcome her gently. It swallowed her. Glass towers stretched toward the sky, like they were competing with the mountains she left behind. Cars rushed past her, as if they had somewhere more important to be. Screens flashed advertisements brighter than the snowstorms she used to survive. Elara stood still on the sidewalk, holding the small bag that carried everything she owned. Just weeks ago, she had been living inside a cave carved into frozen rock. Now she was standing in front of a building that looked like it touched the clouds. For a moment, she considered turning back. Not because she was afraid of him, but because she was afraid of belonging somewhere she never imagined for herself. The revolving doors spun automatically as people walked through them confidently. She waited, watched, then slowly stepped inside. The warmth hit her first, then the silence, not the peaceful silence of snow, the expensive kind. Polished floors reflected crystal chandeliers. Employees walked past her in sharp suits, speaking in low, confident voices. She looked down at her simple coat. Her boots still carried faint scratches from mountain rocks. "I don't belong here," her mind whispered. But then another memory rose. A snowstorm, a broken vehicle, a man unconscious behind shattered glass, her hands pulling him out while wind tried to push her back. Belonging is not about clothes. It's about courage. A receptionist approached her. "Miss Elara." She almost looked behind her to check if someone else shared her name. "Yes, Mr. Arman is expecting you." Expecting. The word settled differently in her chest. No one had ever expected her arrival before. She followed the receptionist through hallways that seemed longer than winter nights. Elevators moved faster than she was used to. When the doors opened on the top floor, the city skyline spread out beyond the glass walls like a living ocean of steel and light. He was standing near the window, not in a hospital bed, not unconscious, strong, composed, in control. But when he turned and saw her, something softened in his expression. "You came. You asked me to." There was no awkward gratitude speech, no dramatic thank you, just truth between two people who shared a night neither could forget. He gestured for her to sit. She hesitated before lowering herself onto the leather chair. "I've been thinking about that night," he began. She remained silent. Most people would have stayed inside. They would have told themselves it wasn't their problem. "You weren't most people." She looked away slightly. "I didn't think. I just acted." He nodded. "That's exactly why I called you here." Her eyebrows tightened slightly. "I don't understand." He walked to his desk and placed a file in front of her. "My company works in risk management, crisis prediction, strategic protection. We study patterns, weather, infrastructure, financial instability, environmental shifts." She blinked slowly. He continued. "We prevent disasters before they destroy lives and businesses." A strange feeling crept into her chest. The mountains, snow shifting, wind changing direction, cracks forming before avalanches. "You read storms," he said quietly. Her eyes snapped toward him. "What? You sensed the avalanche before it happened that winter, didn't you?" She froze. She had never told him that part. "Yes. How?" "I don't know," she whispered. The snow felt wrong. The air was too heavy. He leaned forward. "That instinct cannot be taught in classrooms." Silence stretched between them. "I want you to join my company." The words hung in the air. She didn't react immediately. Then she let out a soft, almost disbelieving breath. "Join how?" "In our risk assessment division." She stared at him. "I barely finished school." "I know. I don't understand corporate systems. I don't know business language. I don't even know how to use half the technology in this building." He didn't interrupt her fear. He let it empty itself out. Then he spoke calmly. "I'm not hiring you for what you know. I'm hiring you for how you think." She shook her head slowly. "You're making a mistake." "No," he said firmly. "I'm correcting one." She looked confused. "What do you mean?" "People underestimated you your entire life." The words struck deeper than she expected. "They rejected you before they even knew you." Her throat tightened. "I don't want your sympathy." "You don't have it," he replied evenly. "You have my respect." Silence again. He walked toward the window. "When my car slid off that road, I lost control. I was prepared for business crises, market crashes, legal battles. He turned toward her. But nature humbled me, and you, a girl who had nothing, saved me. She swallowed hard. I didn't save you to gain something. I know, he said. That's why this matters. He placed a second document on the desk. Training program details, mentorship structure, educational sponsorship. I'm not throwing you into a boardroom tomorrow, he continued. You'll train, you'll study, you'll learn systems. But your instinct, that's your advantage. Her hands trembled slightly as she flipped through the pages. Housing in the city, salary, structured learning. It felt unreal. This is too much, she whispered. It's an opportunity. It's overwhelming. He nodded slightly. Growth usually is. She stood up and walked a few steps away, trying to breathe. You don't understand, she said softly. I was unwanted from the day I was born. I was told I was a burden. Then I was left behind. Her voice didn't crack, but it lowered. I learned to survive alone. I don't know how to step into something this big. He stepped closer but kept distance respectful. Survival built your strength. But it doesn't have to be your ceiling. She looked at him. What if I fail? He didn't hesitate. Then you fail trying something greater than fear. She searched his face for doubt. There was none. Why are you so sure about me? She asked. Because when you dragged me through the snow, you weren't thinking about reward. You were thinking about responsibility. He paused. That kind of character is rare. Her entire life, people had spoken about her like she was a problem to manage. Now someone was speaking about her like she was potential to develop. The difference was powerful. She walked back to the desk slowly. If I say yes, my life changes. Yes. If I say no, you return to the mountains. He didn't pressure her. He didn't plead. He simply waited. For the first time in her life, the decision was hers. Not her father's, not her village's, not fate's, hers. She thought about cold nights inside the cave. She thought about being told she wasn't enough. She thought about dragging him through snow without knowing who he was. And she realized something. She had never been afraid of storms, only of rejection. Slowly, she lifted her chin. I'll try. A slow, genuine smile appeared on his face. Good. He extended his hand. She hesitated for half a second, then shook it. Her grip was firm, stronger than he expected. You start orientation next week, he said. Until then, settle in, explore the city. Let it stop feeling like an enemy. She gave a small nod. As she walked out of the office later that evening, the skyline didn't look intimidating anymore. It looked like possibility. The same way mountains once did. But just as she stepped into the elevator, she overheard two executives whispering nearby. That's the girl he rescued. No, she rescued him. Silence. And now she's joining Risk Division? Without credentials. A pause. This should be interesting. The elevator doors closed. She stared at her reflection in the mirrored wall. For the first time, doubt didn't feel like weakness. It felt like a challenge. She stepped out into the city night. Lights shimmered like distant stars. The wind brushed her face, not freezing, but alive. This wasn't a snowstorm, but she could feel it. A different kind of storm. Politics, expectations, pressure. And somewhere in the tall building behind her, people were already questioning her place. He owed her his life, but this opportunity. She would have to earn it. She looked up at the skyline one last time before walking forward. A girl once rejected at birth, now standing at the edge of something massive. The mountains had tested her body. The city would test her mind. And tomorrow, the real storm begins.